Well, hey everybody. Welcome to the update preview stream. This is Bugs here. I'm joined today by Artemis and Misty. Say hi, guys.
Hey everyone.
Hi, everyone.
So, what do we got going on this week? Well, we got some exciting stuff. There is a new building skin live on staging. This is kind of the big brother to the Adobe skin that we saw go live earlier in the month. And this new skin, the shipping container skin, is a skin of the sheet metal tier and looks to be going live with a DLC on June 1st. So just 2 weeks from today with the forced wipe and update. So as always, what we're going to do, we're going to show off what's going on in Rust development, including this container stuff and more. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask Misty underscore that's me in chat, and we'll get to as many questions as we have time to. Also, with regards to whips, it is Thursday, so of course servers are wiping. And very often on these days, people ask me, hey, Bugs, when is this server wiping? Well, for Rustified servers, on every Thursday that isn't a first Thursday, like that's not a forced wipe, we wipe our servers at 3 p.m. local time for each region. So that means AU and SEA wiped like 12, 13 hours ago. EU wiped 3 hours ago. And US servers will wipe in just 2 hours at 3 p.m. EST. The servers wiping today are the weekly and bi weekly Thursday wipe servers. So that's everything from your mains to your mediums, your trios, smalls, barons, Zen Labs, and the like. Also, quick note on Zen Labs. We have been trying out Happus the last couple of weeks, but we got a new map on Zen Labs. Zen Labs we're trying out this week. So we're running it for a week. Hope you enjoy it. Check out the map information on our Discord on the server information channel and let us know what you think in the map convo channel in our Discord. So, with that, let us get into it. Oh, and before the whole development stuff and everything, it is the third Twitch Rivals event for Rust. So that's running since Tuesday of this week to Saturday. So you've got another, what is it, 2 days to collect over 20 different skin drops available for the various different teams and everyone competing. This is a bunch of cool drops, and I recommend you go to the Face Punch Twitch page, check them out. Make sure your accounts are linked and everything like that. And it was cool. This time they did a new kind of layout for the Twitch page. You can see some screens here, but they separated by teams. They kind of tried some new stuff with the Twitch drops and did a kind of fresh redesign of how the Twitch drop thing was working. And I think it looks cool. It's nice with the teams and all that good stuff. So yeah, get your Twitch drops if you have not yet. Now let's get into it. Shipping container building skin. That is the highlight of the week. And what that is, as I was saying just before, is like the big brother of the Adobe building skin. But instead of where the Adobe is a skin of the stone tier, the shipping container building skin is a skin of the sheet metal tier. And it operates basically the same way. You can upgrade and choose. In fact, they even made the hammer upgrading thing easier this week. That's another thing that got implemented is a little quality of life, a little kind of UI improvement to how the upgrading of the shipping container or the building skins works. So whereas previously in the hammer radial wheel, you would have a switch building skin, now what they've just done, and you can see a screenshot of it on rustified.com, is change it so when you're on like the tier to upgrade, you can just do Q and E to cycle through the building skins. And that's pretty cool. What it also tells me is in the future, we could see even more and more building skins of various different tiers because that is one thing that this new UI change allows for that the other one technically wouldn't have, which is like scrolling through multiple different skins for one different tier. So this could be the first of many building skins we see for Rust. And I, for one, love it. I think this is cool. I know a lot of people like to see a new thing and immediately poo poo on it and say, oh my God, oh, the FPS or this game is ruined or whatever. Dude, think what you want, but this stuff looks really cool. I love what they're doing here. I love the look, I love the vibe, I love the feel of it. The inside, it's a little dry. It could use some bare rugs, a little sprucing up. And also keep in mind, all of this is still a work in progress. It literally just hit staging the other day. We've already seen a number of different changes to it over the last couple of days. And so it's very likely we'll see more changes between now and 2 weeks from now when the update goes live. But one of the really cool things about this building skin, the shipping container building skin that we didn't have with the Adobe tier, is in fact that you can change the outside color with a spray can. And so as you build this tier and as you upgrade, it kind of auto picks a color for you. Depending on how you're building it, and I haven't gotten the exact rhyme or reason of it, it will fill in some auto colors for you as you upgrade. And it seems like as I was building up different levels, a lot of the levels would auto match a color. And so, like, if I was on level one of my base, it might choose yellow, and all the walls I upgrade there will be yellow. And then when I go up one more level, it might choose red or something like that. But you can choose from about 16 different colors, I believe. And I think that's 16. Yeah, 1, 2, 16. Yeah, sure. And and when you upgrade it, it will pick a color, but then as you can see here with the spray can, you can go and pick whatever color you want, and it changes the outside color of that piece of the building. And I love this. I think there's so many different opportunities here to create different cool looking bases. There's also some real tactical potential advantages here of like having a smaller base that maybe, utilizing this color system blends into the surrounding a little bit more than a normal, sheet metal base would technically. So I really love what's going on here. And just really excited to see these go live. It's overall really straightforward. If you've played with the Adobe skin, if you've even built anything in Rust and upgraded it before, it's pretty straightforward. You just upgrade and it looks like this. And then the one thing that this shipping container skin adds in is this spray can ability to change the color on the fly. Other than that, the stats of the building tier and everything still match sheet metal exactly. This is purely an aesthetic change. It's just visual. And you can see here you got a bunch of different color options to choose from, a bunch of different building styles. And yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. So that is the container, shipping container building skin. Once again, likely slated to go live June 1st, unless something changes. That's what Alistair said when he tweeted the other day. And as with any of this stuff that's still in development, it is all subject to change. So if you're caught up on one thing, like why is this way or why is this way, it very well might change in the 2 weeks prior to this going live. And if you want to test this right now yourself, you can do so on the staging branch. It's on normal staging. The one caveat is the people who are allowed to test it now, who have access to this building skin on staging at the moment, need to have purchased the Adobe building tier already. So if you got the Adobe DLC, then you can hop on a staging server and build and start testing this out. If you don't have the Adobe Building DLC, you won't be able to test this out. Now, of course, this is just for testing now. When this goes live June 1st, it doesn't matter if you have the Adobe Building DLC, you'll also need to buy the shipping container DLC. It looks like when we're talking about building skins, there are that I've clocked two more building skins, maybe three coming. There was this tribalist thing, there was also a brick thing, and I thought there was another stone block thing in the commits, but that could be coupled with the bricks potentially. It's all to say there's some more building skins coming, and then eventually what they might do is add them all into a DLC, for purchase as a group. But it looks like as they're working this rollout, what they're doing is they're doing one building skin at a time and rolling it out individually as a DLC. And so that's what's going on with the shipping container building skin. Now, also in other news, we do have some changes, and this is, potentially some big balance changes coming into the game related to sleeping bags and respawning stuff. Now, this is still in a separate branch last we checked, but it does look like it will be making its way in some form into the June 1st update and forced wipe. Now, as with all this stuff, I feel it is important to reiterate, even though I literally just said it with the building skin stuff, but everything's subject to change. Still a work in progress. We've got 2 weeks until the update goes live. So this may change, but what we're looking at right now in development this week has some significant changes to sleeping bags. Specifically, the default max for a player in a server will be 10 beds or bags. So either or, you'll only have 10 respawn points maximum by default in a server. So if you're hopping on a vanilla server June 1 after the update, max of 10 bags or beds. It's hard to say those two words together in order: beds and bags, bags and beds. Anyway, default max of 10.
Boots and cats.
Yeah, yeah, don't mind me. Anyway, also, what they're doing with this is adding in some more functionality because, as you would imagine, with this limitation, it's like, okay, I need to mess with my bags a little more on the map on the fly, right? And so, what they're doing is they're adding in that stuff into the in game map itself. And so, what you're going to be able to do, and you can see a example video of this on the Rust commits. And if you go to rustified.com, I did re-upload the video there. It's just a short 19-second video from Jake Rich, the developer working on this, where he just kind of shows a glimpse of what the work in progress UI changes are. And basically, what it is you can delete bags on the in-game map on the fly. And then on top of that, this is an interesting one. When a bag is deleted, it actually becomes a public unclaimed bag. And so if you delete it on your map, that bag will still just be sitting there. And if it looks like if anyone comes up to it on the map, they'll then be able to claim it as their own bag. And so it looks like when you delete a bag on the map, it's just not going to despawn the bag. The bag will still exist, just in an unclaimed form. It also looks like players will be able to maybe have a little more notification and stuff like that when it comes to shifting of ownership of sleeping bags and stuff like that. So assigning a bag and things like that, there's going to be more notifications. And it also, on the in-game map, looks like there's going to be a little notification to show you how many bags you have left. So something like 5 out of 10 bags used, type of thing. So this is a work in progress, but the big thing is it's going to prevent any player from just spamming tens and tens or more bags all over the map. You'll be limited to 10. Now, this will be changeable with a CVAR. So if a server owner does want to change from the default, they can set it to whatever they want. I can say at Rustified servers, our plan is to just go with whatever the vanilla default setting is once the update hits. Now, also, we have some work on chat emojis coming in. This was over on the aux 2 branch and not super duper functional when we tested it yesterday. So, not sure if this is going to come June 1st or if it's going to take a little longer. But this one isn't a stretch of the imagination. You all have used chat and you've all used emojis. So, it's just going to be that coming into the in game uh, chat for Rust. Now, another interesting thing, one of our systems guys was looking into the code a little bit, and it looks like they might add some ability for servers to have their own emojis, kind of like Discord servers have their own emoji options. So there could be some cool options for servers adding their own emojis in addition to this just general emojis coming into chat as well. So that's kind of cool. Also, and the chat emoji thing was a Hack Week project. And one of the things about the Hack Week projects is sometimes they come in and then sometimes they just kind of disappear. So, like, one of the Hack Week projects that's probably going to come in is the weapon racks. Word is that's going to be a DLC as well. And those weapon racks were originally just a Hack Week project that got approved to enter the game. But on the flip side, we have like the base airships you might have seen like months ago, where you the concept was you could build a base and then attach a hot air balloon to it, and then the base would take off and fly through through the sky. Yeah, that's not gonna make it into the game, but all Hack Week projects. So there's a couple more Hack Week projects being worked on, and with that context in mind, they might come in, they might not. But we've got an AI test arena being worked on, and no visuals, no word exactly what this is, but it could just be a test arena for developers to test out AI behavior, and it could just be a completely internal AI testing thing. Also, though, it could be this new kind of place for server owners to spawn up a server in this test arena where players could maybe just practice PvE and PvP and gun recoil and all that stuff. So not sure, keeping an eye on what that might be. Now, also kind of coupled into that, but sort of on a separate branch, is AI improvements. And this is just a bunch of various tests on improving how AI responds. They're changing like slight things about FOV and how scientists will, advance or run away, things like that. So various improvements on that, still on separate branches. And then finally, in the Hack Week realm, we have charms being worked on as well. And this, it looks like, will be kind of just like, charm bracelets. I'm sure you all have one, right? Well, it's going to be like that for your items in game. And we're seeing a couple charms like a bean can charm and stuff like that. And it looks like maybe you'll be able to add various charms. I'm not sure if it's going to be dangling off your AK or you're going to put on your bucket helmet or I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do charms here, but it is being worked on a Hack Week project. Then there's various other stuff being worked on. They added support for connect to a server via the query port. That's a thing used by Steam Connect URLs, if you've ever seen those. Also, they did the ability to change RF transmitter frequency while in hostile TC radius. They also fixed corpses and skulls not having the name hidden in streamer mode. That was given a couple people up in certain instances, and that looks to be resolved. It looks like there's going to be some more work on world models as well, specifically a handmade shotgun shell ammo box coming in. That's all that work where instead of just that burlap sack on the ground when you toss something, it actually shows like a visual representation of what the item is. And we've seen a number of different ammo boxes and things like that show up in the last month or two. So just some more progress on that in the realm of handmade. Also, there's two new commands for developers, which and admins as well. Not going to impact players at all, but there's an infinite ammo command and a reload all weapons command that will reload all weapons in the hotbar. And once again, both of these, of course, are for admins or developers only because, well, an infinite ammo command would not be a balanced playstyle. But yeah, they've added those in. And then finally, there's more work on the ferry terminal. And the ferry terminal, from what we can glean based on commits, looks like it's going to be part of that server to server transfer stuff, that nexus body of work where servers can be linked up and share wipe time and blueprints, and then players will be able to load up in a boat or whatever with their crew and go to this ferry terminal and then actually go to another server without having to exit the game, and they'll be able to bring all their loot and their stuff from one server to the other. This of course will only be on certain servers that are intentionally linked. It's not like all Rust servers are magically going to be able to have people coming in off boats randomly. Uh, I'm just going to make a border patrol joke, but nah, the political climate's too hot for that. But you can imagine it's only going to be for when you link a server up. So we might do like medium one and medium two when it comes out, or like long one and long two type of thing. But we'll see. The Nexus, this server to server transfer stuff, has been in practice and in not production, in development for a good amount of time. So no exact word on when we're going to see it go live in the game, but it does seem like they're getting more towards the the aesthetic end of it, really working on the look and feel of the terminal and where it's going to spawn on the ProcGen map and everything like that. So that tells me maybe the backend stuff and the actual server to server is pretty good, and they're just kind of finalizing the front end user experience of it. So maybe we'll see it in the next couple months. But we'll, as always, let you know as we know more. And as always, you can check out rustified.com. Every Thursday, I do a post which summarizes everything going on in Rust development and everything like that. And you can also always check out our Twitter at Rustified throughout the week. We've been doing more shorts on Twitter and on YouTube and on TikTok and on Instagram. All that we've been rocking that socials game a little bit more, but you can follow those and then check out little shorts throughout the week to see what's going on in Rust development, like what hit staging today type of thing. But yeah, that's what's going on. Misty, we got any questions from the audience?
Not a whole lot, but let's start with when is whip, and is it a force wipe today?
So it's not a forced wipe today. We are at the halfway point for development and wipes for the month. And so we've got 2 weeks until the next forced wipe and update, which is June 1st. And so today is just a normal map wipe. The servers wiping for Rustified are the weekly and bi-weekly Thursday wipe servers, such your mains, mediums, trios, smalls, Baron, Zen Labs, and the like. And if you're wondering about any other servers, check out their Discord. But Rustified servers today are wiping at 3 p.m. local time for the region. So that means SEA AU already wiped like 12 plus hours ago. EU wiped 3 hours and 21 minutes ago. EU main, mediums, trios, small, barons, and labs. And then US servers are the last ones to wipe. And that'll be in just over an hour and a half at 3 p.m. EST. Once again, map wipes only today and 2 weeks until the force wipe. And at force wipe, many Rustified servers, except our medium threes, do choose to wipe blueprints along with the map wipe. So just keep that in mind.
Is this spray can a free item?
Oh yeah, what's the crafting cost of the spray
A
can and all
hundred
that
metal
stuff?
frags.
100
Yeah,
metal frags and
yeah,
default
for the
BP, right?
spray. Yeah, and default BP.
Yeah, cool. So it's 100 frags and default BP, and it does have durability, but I was noticing, I was spraying a lot and changing a lot of walls, and it
It
wasn't.
breaks fast.
No, no, it actually wasn't breaking that fast,
Oh,
actually.
maybe not on this then. Normally
Yeah,
it
on this,
does.
yeah, I
Yeah.
remember, like, I was thinking, "Oh, man, this is gonna break so freaking fast," but it's actually not breaking fast at all. But once again, this is one of those things, maybe they just haven't quite got into it completely.
Yeah, maybe that can change. Um, yeah, so I think the reason why he asked that maybe because if you have the spray, you still have to buy the DLC. Yeah.
Now, what you guys are seeing, though, 'cause, Artemis, you don't have the DLC, but you have building priv and a spray can, and you can spray, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So as
So
it stands
Oh, okay.
yeah, as it stands, you don't need the DLC to
To
actually
paint it.
change the colors, yes. Once again, work in progress could change, but as it stands, you just need building privilege and a spray can, and then you can change the exterior color of any of these shipping container pieces.
Is Rustified going to keep it at 10 default?
That's the plan. As it stands right now, we're going to keep it at whatever they release the default as, and that's generally how we play it. Uh, and then, yeah, we're open to shifting. We do stay vanilla, and the definition of vanilla is set by face punch. So with some things like Team UI, we can change, and it's still vanilla. Other things we don't we're not able to change because it would make it not vanilla. At this stage in the game, I have no idea where face punch is going to land on vanilla or not. So our current plan is to just leave it whatever the default is, and as that stands, it is a max of 10 bags slash beds for each user per server.
And I think this guy maybe haven't seen we have a stone skin DLC as well, but he was asking, will they have different skins to stone?
Yeah, so how it's looking, these skins are going to work. Currently, live in the game is the Adobe skin, which is a skin of the stone tier. This shipping container skin is a skin of the sheet metal tier. Based on commits, we're seeing some other skins in progress, including a tribalist, a brick, and I believe a stone block skin, but none of those are confirmed or no visuals on those yet. But how it looks like Facepunch is releasing it is like they just did the Adobe this month. Then with June 1st, it's probably going to be, in fact, they've said it will release the DLC for the shipping container. Then maybe in July, we'll see, Tribalist come in or one of the other skins. And then maybe eventually all the DLCs might be packaged into one that you can purchase all the building skins together. Or they might just keep doing one off DLCs of different building skins. And how they changed the UI this week with the hammer, I find interesting because with the Adobe at the moment, it's like you toggle building skins on or off. So that's a binary. Either you have the default skins on or you've got the cosmetic skins on. But what they've done with the hammer this week on the UI is actually made it so instead of having a separate select option in the radial menu, you when you're hovering over say the stone thing, you can hit Q or E to switch to Adobe. But that little switch of Q or E does allow from a UI standpoint multiple skins on one building tier. So maybe we could see three different types of skins for just the stone building tier eventually. So that was an interesting little UI thing that I noticed this week. It's like they are allowing going forward for multiple types of building skins per tier. So maybe they'll just keep releasing these and developing these, ad infinitum. We'll see.
Artemis, could you try and TP over to me? Because I see some people asking how the triangles and stuff look like.
Sure.
Let me see next one. Did they mention anything about turret auth changes?
Not that I recall this week. I don't recall seeing anything shifted with regards to turret authorization in the commits this week.
Is the new DLC coming out today?
No, the new DLC is still a work in progress. And since we're mid-month, generally speaking, we don't see new things like this go live until the forced wipe, which is every first Thursday of the month. And so we got 2 weeks. June 1st is the next forced wipe and update. And that is when this DLC slash building skin is expected to go live.
Will there be a DLC for wood as well?
I would imagine. You see what I did
Why?
there? Sorry.
I saw.
Uh,
I
I
hear
don't
it.
have I don't have kids, but I got some wicked dad humor sometimes. But uh, yeah, it looks like maybe the tribalist will be the wood one, but I'm not sure if they were. I think I'm getting caught up in my head on possibilities, but it's all to say, yeah, I think there will be a wood one, and I think potentially, and think about it from a business standpoint, if players are loving these things, they're optional, they don't change gameplay, they look pretty friggin' sweet around the map, and players keep buying them, then it would make sense for Face Punch to keep making them, right? And I don't see why they wouldn't.
So also from the looks of it, when you paint it, it's not painting the inside of it, and it's not painting the top of the foundation, only the side, like the outside of it.
That's correct, yeah. And then
Yeah.
also the although it's interesting as we look up here, one of the ceilings is colored red, but then the other ones aren't.
Hmm.
Um,
Well,
and
still
you
work in progress.
and you can change the color of the ceilings as well on the outside. It looks like maybe you can a bit on the inside, or I'm not sure. But yeah, it's mostly just the exterior skin color. And then for the top of the floor pieces, there's like a little strip on the sides of the floor pieces that you can color as well. But overall, it's just exterior stuff. And then the inside is kind of this like plain, plywood, I guess, kind of. And if you think about it, look, what's the inside of a shipping container really going to look like, people? I mean, it's not going to be much. So I know some people have
Yeah.
been like, "Oh my God, it's so ugly inside." It's like, well, yeah, it's a shipping container, put some bear rugs down, put a Pookie bear or something, you'll be good.
Yeah, I still hope they do the color it at least. So if you color it on the outside, maybe it's gonna color. But
Yeah, I could see some
yeah,
color options
color
for
on the
inside
outside.
as
Yeah.
well, for sure.
Let's do a recap. There's not really much.
Yeah, let's do it. And it's a slow week because everyone's doing Twitch rivals, everyone's grabbing their drops and all that stuff. And there's not a lot to say other than, hey, new building skin. It's cool. You can change the color of it. It's a shipping container. It's sheet metal. That's it. But anyway, I'll do a bit longer of a recap. So once again, Twitch Rivals going on now till Saturday. It started Tuesday. This is the third Rust Twitch Rivals event that's happened. There's over 20 skin drops available. So definitely go pick up, check out the different teams, check out the different action, pick up your 20 plus skins and all that good stuff. Twitch.facepunch.com to link your account and see all the other information and who's live and all that good stuff. Then also, the big news of this week is that shipping container building skin. And this is, kind of going to be the big brother of the Adobe building skin DLC that we saw go live earlier this month. This one's going to go live June 1st. It is a skin of the sheet metal tier. And the cool thing about this shipping container stuff is you can, with a spray can, paint the outside of all the pieces. And you've got 16 different colors to choose from. And yeah, they're really cool looking. And I've actually found myself like I just want to create some time to go and do a couple, and it's purely role player shit, right? Like I'm not playing around trying to figure out what's the like least rateable thing. I just, as a kind of a role player, just want to go in there and be like, what's some cool looking shit I can build? Um, and there was a really cool one posted on Reddit. It's on the top of the Playrust Reddit. I think that one looked really cool. And yeah, there's just a lot of like cool looking bases you can build out of this stuff. So you can change it. You can choose from the different 16 colors. It only colors the outside of most of the parts. It looks like the bottom of the uh,
Except the roofs. Yeah, I was just gonna say
yeah,
the floors. You can paint
and
the
that
underside of the floor, but not the top.
and yeah, and it's funny as we say work in progress, right? Like literally last night I was trying to test that and it didn't work, but this morning we were able to see this one. I just noticed. I also noticed the kind of pillar frame or whatever wasn't colorable last night, and now it is. So still a work in progress, all subject to change. As it stands, looks like this DLC is going live June 1st. If it's anything like the Adobe DLC, it's going to be priced, if we're talking US dollars at 12.99 USD, and and that's basically it. You use the spray can. The spray can is a default item if you're not aware. 100 metal frags to craft. At the moment, it will lose a little durability as you're changing the color of things, but really not too much as far as like the spray can is concerned. And also, they changed the UI of the hammer upgrading for these skins a little bit on staging this week, where instead of having the radial option of enabling building skins or not, which is what they launched with this month, now when you're on each tier, you can toggle through using Q and E. And the interesting thing about that is, from a UI standpoint, that will allow them to do multiple skins per tier. All to say they could add another like Adobe 2 stone building skin, and then you'd be able to select default or Adobe 1 or Adobe 2. That's just do this new kind of cheeky UI change with the hammer this week. So we're going to keep a close eye on this, all subject to change. But once again, as it stands right now, it does appear this will go live June 1st as a DLC with the update and force wipe. Also, what we've got going on is some balance changes, specifically in the realm of respawning and sleeping bags. So, the big one is now there will be a default max of 10 beds or bags per player. And previously, there was just nothing. I actually goofed in my head, given hardcore had the max and hardcore came out. There was a little thing in the back of my head, but like, wasn't there already a max? But no, that was on hardcore. and it's just you've been able to spam as many bags across the map as you wanted on vanilla, but that is all coming to a change June 1st because at the moment it's a max of 10, and that's 10 beds or bags per player per server. Now, with these changes, we're seeing some new UI things coming in, specifically the in game map while you're alive. We'll have the ability to delete bags and maybe manage some more stuff with that. Still a work in progress. You can also delete bags even if they're still on a cooldown now. Previously, you couldn't. Now you'll be able to. And this is another very interesting thing. Deleted bags now become public unclaimed bags. So if you come across an unclaimed bag in the wilderness, if you still have not used all your 10 bags, you'll still be able to just go up to that bag and claim it as your own. And finally, players involved will be notified when ownership of the sleeping bag changes. So they're going to have some more alerts around that as well. Still a work in progress, subject to change, but as it stands, our plan for Rustified servers is to go with whatever they set as the default max, and that is currently 10 beds or bags per player per server. Also, we've got some chat emojis coming in. This is a Hack Week project that's looks like it's going to make its way into production eventually. It's currently on aux 2 and wasn't functioning that well when we tested yesterday, but it will come in eventually. And not sure if that's going to be June 1st or what have you, but emojis in chat, we can all picture what that's going to be like. And my brain just pictured a whole bunch of eggplants. But then on top of that, it looks like maybe servers will be able to add their own emojis, kind of like Discord does. So that could be cool. Also, in the realm of Hack Week projects, we've got an AI test arena being worked on. No word on if this is going to be just a developer only AI test arena or for them just to develop AI a little better and then test it out, or if there'll be some sort of public player element to this where server owners could spawn up a server that players could just go in to practice PvE and PvP. Not sure, keeping an eye on it. Along with that, sort of separate, but also same AI improvements. And this is just a bunch of tests on improving the scientist NPC AI, stuff like that. Then finally, in the realm of hack weeks, we've got charms are being worked on. And think about it like charm bracelets, but it's going to be charms for, I guess, putting on your items in game potentially. And keep in mind, as with all Hack Week projects, nothing's surely going to definitively make it into the game. Some of these things just kind of go the way of the airship, but other things will make it into the game, like, the chat emojis. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's also a couple miscellaneous other things, and then we'll get to some final questions here. But they added support to connect to servers via the query port, and that's just something used by the Steam :// connect URLs. Also, they made it so you can now change the RF transmitter frequency while in hostile TC radius. They fixed some things with Corpse and Skull not having the names hidden in streamer mode. They're adding some handmade shotgun shell ammo box world model variations. So that's just less burlap sacks rolling on the ground and more ammo boxes, so to speak. They added two commands just for admins and developers for testing. There's an infinite ammo and a reload all weapons command. And then finally, they're doing some more work on the ferry terminal, having it spawn on ProcGen maps. It's going to be alongside harbors, it looks like this ferry terminal is going to come up. And it's not clear exactly how this is going to work, but it does appear like that is part of the Nexus server to server body of work where you'll be able to, as a player, hop in a boat with you and your friends and your loot and actually travel to a different physical server without leaving the game and with taking your items and everything like that. So, an exciting new feature that's been in progress for a while now. No word on when it's going to make its way into the game, but we'll definitely let you know as more comes to light. And that about does it with regards to what's going on in Rust development this week.
Yep, sorry, I was just copy something from chat so I could read it out. Does it work on roof corners and roof stuff?
Does indeed, yep. Yep.
Yep. Yup, yup, yup.
What branch is this on now?
This is on the normal staging branch. So if you want to test this out, you can just join a staging server. You do, in order to test the container shipping building skin, or I'm sorry, shipping container building skin, you do need to own currently the Adobe building skin DLC. So if you don't own that, you're not going to be able to upgrade accordingly. That, of course, is going to change when this goes live June 1st. You'll need to buy the shipping container DLC. But for testing purposes right now on normal staging branch, you can, if you own the Adobe Building Skin DLC, you can just access it via the hammer and upgrade to your heart's content. It's a skin of the sheet metal building tier, and they've got a cool new kind of UI thing with the hammer where you use Q and E to switch between whatever skins on each tier you want.
Didn't they say there was going to be a legacy rust, legacy rust wood skin?
Oh, they might have, was that in a dev blog or somewhere? There's a lot of information flying around, so they might have said that. And it
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me at all because one thing based on the commits that we're seeing, we've seen a lot of this work be done on the Building Skins 3 branch, and we definitively have a couple other skins, Tribalist. There was a brick skin being worked on. There was a stone block skin being worked on. And so, and maybe the tribalist will be, I don't know. And maybe they'll just have a legacy skin, legacy wood skin as well. That would be quite the throwback.
When are charms being released, if it was even announced yet?
No, it's not announced yet, and it's a Hack Week project. So with the Hack Week projects, you really want to keep your expectations low because there haven't been many Hack Week projects that have yet made it into production. We can say with pretty high level of confidence that weapon racks will come in and the chat emojis will come in, both of which were Hack Week projects. There's been a couple other, I think, that have made it in by now, but I'm blanking. I am a little jet lagged, by the way. I'm going to blame it on the jet lag, not my weak mind. But it does look like there's going to be. Um, oh Jesus! I totally. I said weak mind, and then my brain said, "Oh well, fuck you then. I'm out." And I totally forgot what we were talking about. Oh yeah, the charms. The charms. Thank you, brain. I love you, brain. The charms hack week thing might not ever make it in.
If your squad mate builds the structure, can you paint it?
Yeah, as it stands now, and all subject to change. But right now, to change the color, you just need a spray can and building priv. You don't need to own the DLC. So anyone with a spray can and building priv can go up to the containers and actually change the color. The color changes only on the outside for most of the objects that could change, but you don't need the DLC to change the color at the moment.
So this question here, I experienced myself, and I tested it. But do you need to spend more stone to upgrade for skin? Last week, I mistakenly built my house without the skin, and to put the skin, I needed to spend exact of number of stones to change it. And I just tested, and it still cost 300 extra stone, like normal. So it's 600, basically.
Yeah, so you just want to upgrade to the thing you want the first time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to spend double and waste your money. And maybe they would change that. But if you think about it, also, it's still an upgrade and it's still a change. I don't know. It could go either way. But I hear what you're saying.
Yep. I did that too. I was like, God damn it.
And it's like, dope.
Uh,
Yeah. Especially
yeah.
if you did on a bunch of them. You're like, oh, God, I got to go
Uh,
out farming again.
yeah. When does Rustafied US medium to server wide?
That wipes in an hour and 16 minutes. So with server wipes today, all Rustified servers in regions outside of US have wiped already. EU wiped 3 hours and 44 minutes ago, and AUSEA wiped like 12, 13 hours ago. The US servers still have yet to wipe at 3 p.m. EST. So once again, like an hour and 15 minutes from now. And that'll be the weekly and bi-weekly Thursday wipe Rustafied servers. So your mains, your mediums, trios, small, baron, Zen labs. Also, final note on ZenLab, real quick. We are trying a new map made by Cyphex. He's the guy who he's the mastermind behind the Happus community map. He made a new map that we're trying out on the ZenLab servers this week. I know a lot of people hate change, so they loaded in and was like, "Where's my Happus? Damn it!" And don't worry, we're gonna have Happus back. But ZenLabs, keep in mind, is a server where we intentionally want to test out other maps and other types of things that wouldn't necessarily jive with other servers. That's the Zen Labs part of it. It's there for testing and playing around and tweaking. So this week we're trying out a new map. Go to our Discord and server information to get more information on that map. And would love to know what you think in the Map Convo channel.
Are you the owner of Rustafied?
Yeah, yeah, I am. This is Bugs here, and I started Rustified, geez, 10 years ago now at this point. We started with one legacy server with like 40 people, and then kind of just kept going. And so now we're 10 years later, and I still own this place.
It would be lit if we could paint the caravan.
Yeah, I see. I love the, tweaking aesthetics in the game. I love where they're going with this. And also, some people are like, hey, you're money grabbing, like face punch, you money grubbing, you know, HORE, whatever. But think about it, guys. Don't you want them to keep making the game good? Don't you want them to keep developing the game? If the money dries up, then they're just going to move on and stop developing this awesome game. We got such a unicorn here. What other game keeps in development month after month and gives huge updates like this over and over, year after year? This is something special here. But to keep it going, yeah, they need to make money. And if they can make money and create exciting new stuff that's optional in the game, why on earth wouldn't they? So, and I can see arguments about the price point and everything like that, and fair enough. I don't know the specifics of it, but it's all to say I love what they're doing with the DLCs, with the building skins and stuff like that. It's a refreshing look to see this on the landscape of Rust, and it's completely optional and
Yeah.
really cool, I think.
And at least they're not doing it so that it's pay to win when you get DLCs and stuff like that. It's
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And no one's forcing you to buy it, but I encourage you to because that supports this amazing development team and helps them keep developing this awesome game. And I, of course, only encourage you to if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, man, don't buy it. It's cool.
let me see if there is anything else. Is there any changes to recoil? And also, I saw earlier actually someone was asking if they were fixing MP5. I haven't heard if there was any bugs with that.
Yeah, as it stands, I'm not aware of any recoil shifts, and I'm not aware of any changes to MP5, but I will keep an eye out for that in the commits. And I do want to take this opportunity to say and remind everyone we're not developers of the game, right? We're just an independent organization. We love reporting on development news and running the best servers that we can. And in fact, the only way that we can do that is through the support of the community because we're not on the Face Punch payroll. They don't pay us to do this. We just run the servers and report on development news. So I do want to thank every single one of you tuning in. To everyone who just watches, to people who subscribe on Twitch and give bits, and to our beautiful, wonderful, loyal VIP customers, thank you all so much because the only reason I've been able to keep doing this for 10 years and our whole team has been able to keep doing what we're doing is through the support of the community. So, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that support.
I just saw one saying here, on the 5,000 hours that I have since the release, I had to spend 400 euros, and the game I paid 6 euros, so even 500 euros over the 10 years. That's 50 euros per year for an extraordinary game.
Cool. That was a little too many numbers for me, but yeah, I dig you. Like it's like it's all about your perspective of it, and no one's forcing you to buy this stuff. I frankly think it's cool as shit. So, um, actually, I didn't buy the Adobe skin because the devs gave it to me because I test this stuff. But sorry, not to. Uh, but otherwise, I totally will buy this stuff, and I encourage you to.
When does Twitch Rivals stop? End.
Saturday, so you got like 2 more days.
And do we have any news on the Rustafied side?
On the Rustified front, no, we're always striving to be better. We're always working on improvements. I've got some real exciting projects that it's like as a project leader, it can be really frustrating to not have the project be where you'd love it to be. But one in particular is we're working on a stats and leaderboard system for our servers, and that's just going to be so cool. We're not just going to do the normal standard leaderboard stuff. We're really working on something special. We're integrating some AI elements. It's the plan into the stats. I know AI is so hot right now, right? But really, really excited about that. We're working on redoing our report system to make it better so we can get uh, better at responding to you guys' reports because we get like 10,000 reports a month. And we're doing a bunch of other stuff with regards to Discord improvements. We got our Rustabot, our AI chatbot, answering a lot of questions, some of them even correctly, in our Discord server. So we've got that. Also, Happus, we're trying a new map this week. So definitely go check out Happus or Zen Labs. I'm sorry. I'm so used to Happus. It's we're trying a new map on our Zen Lab servers. So we're not running Happus this week. And I encourage you to check it out. The information for that map is over on our Discord in the server information channel.
Can you explain the new skin again? Can I decide the colors?
Yeah, so the new skin is basically similar to the Adobe building skin, but whereas the Adobe is stone, the shipping container is sheet metal. And the special change along with that is you can set the color using the spray can of whatever external sheet metal part you want. And to do this, you just need building priv and a spray can, which is a default blueprint and 100 metal frags. And then you can just go up to whatever element you want and choose the color. You've got 16 to choose from and just spray it on and boom, like that, it changes the color. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I think it's really cool.
Can we see a default color as we are building? I
Uh,
think, sorry.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've seen various different behaviors with this, but as I was upgrading, it was kind of just choosing different colors for me automatically based on the
Yeah,
level. Was that your experience too, D?
yes, it was.
Cool, yeah.
But luckily you can change it if you don't like the color. Let me see here.
I saw
What do
someone
you,
ask about BR, and I want to touch on that real quick because
okay.
we did have servers in South America, and at the beginning of the year, we did choose to close them. And just to touch on that real quick, we opened BR several years ago. And throughout that time, we had to try a couple different hosts because the biggest challenge for that region is the core infrastructure of the internet and finding a host with not only the proper internet connections and like the proper data center, but also the proper DDoS protection. Because the fact of the matter is, any popular game server, especially Rust servers, get DDoSed all the friggin' time. And if you don't have proper DDoS protection in front of that, then you're going to have a bad time. The server's not going to run well. And basically, our problem was we couldn't find a host that had everything we needed down there. And we tried and interviewed many, many companies. And so we actually had a plan with Tempest, the company we were currently with, was going to get into BR. We even had a shipment of server hardware sent down there. It got stuck in customs for months. Then it got stolen out of customs, apparently. And then another thing went down there, but we never heard from it again. And at the beginning of this year, and so for like most of last year, our BR servers, I throw up the air quotes, were being hosted out of Texas because we literally couldn't get the hardware into South America. And at the beginning of this year, I said, this is too much. It's not flowing. It's not working, and we got to pull the plug. I didn't want to. We gave it the good old college try, but also I flunked out of college, so I historically, I guess I'm not that great at college tries. But it's all to say, I feel for you guys in BR. We tried. It didn't work. I'll reconsider maybe in a year or two, but as it stands now, we're not doing anything in BR. It's just the infrastructure, the political environment, the fucking stealing shit out of customs. Man, don't even get me started. But I do love BR. I love South America. I would love to support you guys with servers, but it's just not feasible as it stands right now.
How much how much money will the DLC cost?
Probably I'm gonna guess the same price point as the Adobe DLC, which in US dollars is 12.99, and it varies depending on what region of the world you're in. But yeah, around the $10+ price point would be my guess.
I don't think I have more questions I can find. That's new, at least.
All right. Well, I think that's a good opportunity to wind this puppy down. I saw some question about Twitch rivals or something like that. We have nothing to do with Twitch rivals. So whatever's going on with the drops or the gameplay over there, I wish them the best, but we literally have nothing to do with that. So sorry, I can't speak towards it in any way. But I do just once again want to thank everyone for tuning in, for supporting us. We are an independent organization. We're not on the Face Punch payroll. We just love reporting on development news and running the best servers that we can. And the only way we can do that week after week, month after month, year after year is through the support of our community. So thank you all once again for the support. Thank you to our VIP customers. Thank you to everyone else who supports us in various different ways. I encourage you to check out rustified.com. We got news every Thursday being posted. We're also doing a lot more on the socials. So check us out on Twitter and YouTube. We got shorts going out each week with like when stuff hits staging branch. We're just doing a short, like people only have what, like a 15-second attention span these days anyway. So we're doing like 15-second videos, just to give you a peek of what's going on staging. So check us out and thank you for the support. And with that, we're going to wind this puppy down. Also, Artemis, Miss D, as always, thank you for being my co MCs.
You're welcome as always, Bugs.
Yep, most welcome, Bugs.
And yeah, with that, I hope you all have a wonderful week and a wonderful wipe. This is Bugs signing off.